No matter how good you are, you're going to lose 1/3 of your games. No matter how bad you are, you're going to win 1/3 of your games. It's the other third that makes the difference. From the legendary manager, Tommy Lasorda. Welcome to Simulation Gaming. Thank you all for tuning in once again to my channel, Simulation Gaming. Digital realities. I'm covering two major brands at the moment. One is, of course, OOTP, a game we all play and love. And the second one is an app known as LiQWYD, Q-U-I-D-D, which is a collecting app. You can collect cards and stickers and figures, of course, all digitally. And they cover many brands from Disney to Rick and Morty to Dungeons and Dragons, Neopets, and of course MLB. If you're interested in LiQWYD, go look it up on the Google Play or on the Apple Store. Download it, give it a shot. I love that app. I love collecting, and I love baseball. So it's a good combination. If you are new to this channel, I cover three kind of major areas of OOTP. I have a series which is currently in its 5th episode, I believe. That is Perfect Team, kind of the regular Perfect Team where I've set up a team, I open packs. I'm currently in the silver level, so I was promoted from the entry pool last week to silver level this week. And I also cover a pack opening series where I'm opening some neglected unopened packs from OOTP23 and from 22. So if you are interested in that, click on my little channel icon there. That should take you to my videos. Check those out, and if any of them appeal to you, I'd appreciate a like, or if you haven't subscribed, one of those as well. And you can always click that little bell to get notifications of when I have new material out. Thank you so much to those of you that already have subscribed and liked and leaving comments. You guys are welcome in this channel. Love to have you here, and I hope to get it as interactive as possible without the live broadcast aspect. So welcome to episode number 3 of Perfect Draft Tournaments. You'll notice in episode 2, our draft did not go very well. We lost to the Polar Bears in round 1. Not a very good showing. I thought this team would perform better. Again, I, along with many of you, are just learning the cards and how they play and which are the better ones and the poorer ones. Again, not a lot we can really go on in terms of how good these cards really are because they've only played 6 games in this tournament. Pitching wise, again, I don't think pitching was our problem. I think hitting was our big issue. Of course, we had Ichiro, who hit 455, fantastic. And we had Austin Hedges, who was a dynamite bronze player last year, who hit 333. Mind you, again, he only played 1 game. Congratulations to the Irvine Swingers. Love the new addition OOTP has in tournaments where if you hold your mouse over a team, it shows you the path that they took to get to the finals. So Irvine Swingers, congratulations on defeating the Bazooka Sharks 4-2. And hopefully in this episode, we can draft a team that does much better than episode 2. All right, let us go back and select our tournament. We have been playing the bronze tournaments to try and kind of gauge cards and how they do there. But in this series, we're looking at the perfect draft tournaments. We are going to once again select the best of 7, 32 teams, and let's see what cards we have to choose from. One thing I love about the perfect draft is that everyone's on an equal playing field. Doesn't matter how much money you've invested in the game, how long you've played the game. I mean, of course, if you've done some research on cards, it might help you out a little bit. But otherwise, whether you're day 1 or day 14 into this new game, everyone kind of starts at an equal level. So I will take you through my strategy on how I draft in Perfect Team. And if you have any of your strategies that you want to share, please leave a comment. I want to see comments, guys. Put comments in. Who would you have drafted in this perfect round? Who did I miss out on in the draft that you might have taken? Who have you noticed, if you've played some of these cards already, who performs really well in the perfect draft? All right, let's get going. I don't like to draft relievers in the first 3 or 4 rounds. I like to get solid starting pitching or solid hitting. So let's take a quick look. Again, just mousing over. Brandon Crawford, Mookie Betts, Frank Thomas, and Joe Tinker. I think I'm going to go for my solid shortstop right off the bat here, guys. Great range. Probably not going to do much for me hitting-wise, but I want that solid shortstop, one of the most important positions in Perfect Team. Last year, the catcher was really important. I don't know if that's the same this year. We got a third baseman here, Ryan Reynolds, and Live Suzuki. I'm going to go with, again, another defensive infielder. I'm going to go with Billy Weber, or Werber, sorry. You can see some of these other guys here. I could go catcher, but for me, the infield, especially defensively, really is important, so I'm going to go with him. Mariano Rivera, Darren O'Day, Fred Pfeffer, Darrell Evans, Andrew McCutchen, and Tito Francona. Typically, I like to have a really good center fielder, but I don't think either of these guys defensively are going to hold the mustard. You heard of that saying before? Hold the mustard? Darrell Evans, I already have a third baseman. He's out of the picture. So we're going to pick someone from the top level. And let's finish off our infield. Fred Pfeffer. Say that 20 times fast. Fred Pfeffer. Fred Pfeffer. Or is it Pfeiffer? I think it's Pfeffer. Cool. I've played this game since version number 9. And each version I come across players that I really haven't heard of before. And Fred Pfeffer is one of them. All right, as we get into these rounds, now we select 2 cards. I'm going to simply mouse over very quickly. If I go too fast, maybe pause your video if you want a better look at their attributes. But here we go. Let's take a look at who I have to pick from here. Well, do you have your favorites? I'm a little bit torn in this year's version because early on, there's word that the live players are outperforming the historical players, which is a complete reversal from the last 2 or 3 years of Perfect Team. So that being said, I'm going to favor live players if there's ever a situation where 2 players are fairly close in my decision making. Gonna take Aaron Loop. I want a good reliever. I do need a catcher, so I am gonna go with Mike Stanley as well. All right, a quick mouse over of these choices. All right. Who are your choices? Are you going to choose the same two I've selected? I am going to go center fielder Willie Wilson. He is going to be my all-star center fielder in this tournament. He can also play left field. You want to target, before you get to bronze, you want to target a quality center fielder. And now I need a starter. I've got to get a starter here before all the good ones are gone. So I could take Frankie Montes, Joe Nuxel, Josh Beckett, who's really good in the major leagues, or Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes is an oddball because of that high control compared to the other two. Let's take him. Let's try him out. Again, let's do the mouse over. All right, again, you want to keep an eye on who you've selected so far. You don't want a lot of duplicates at the high level, because if someone is a duplicate, he may not get that much playing time, and it's kind of a wasted pick. Who would you take? I'm going to go with Mr. Chris Carpenter. High movement, high control, good stamina. And I'm going to go with Colton Cowser for two reasons. The high defensive capability and the fact that he can play almost anywhere. So if he is on the bench, he can come and play any of those positions. Colton, welcome to the Gladiators. All right, now we are in the 3 silver levels. A quick mouse over. All right, you see any potential there? I need a first baseman. I need a right fielder and another starter. Those are my 3 priorities. First base, right field, and starter. Dixie Walker, average. I like this guy. Gonna strike out. He's gonna swing at some bad pitches. But he, again, plays multiple positions. G. Walker. See who we have for starters here. We don't have any starters available. So I'm going to take a reliever. I'm going to take John Littlefield. I like the movement. I like the control. For me, those are kind of the top 2. At least, again, it has been in the past. All right, one more silver round. Who do we got? Look at those numbers. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to go Tom Zachary here. I almost went Ray, but that stuff is just really awful. Man, what are his pitches? Let's see what his primary pitches are. Yeah, they're not too powerful as well. If that forkball was a little higher, I could understand taking him with that low stuff. So I think I'm going to go with Jim Maloney. So now I have 4 starting pitchers. I'm pretty good until much later in the draft. I want to focus on a first baseman, another good power hitter for DH, or another solid outfielder, and backup catcher. Got to consider pretty quick as well. Still getting used to OOTP coloring here. It used to be if it was 80 or higher, it would be blue. Now I'm noticing a lot of 80s that are green, so they've changed their color scheme just a little bit. Wild Man. Really good stuff and movement, but wild with that control. All right, Todd Frazier, you're coming in. Bench guy, good defense. And same with Brendan Rodgers. I'm going to take a live player, see if they do perform better, like the word is. All right, we've got to take a look if any of my duplicate players here can play first base. Can I move any of these guys to the first base position? Could move Todd Frazier if need be. Otherwise, nope, I need a better first baseman. Cecil Fielder, you are it. I'm not even going to look at the other guys except Jim here, who might be a little bit better. I'm going to take Jim only because he could play catcher as well, and I only have one catcher, so if I do miss out on a second one, he can fill in. Don't see a lot of relievers here. A lot of starters up there. I'm going to take Jim Cott. Fifth guy, long relief. You're in. So how have you guys been doing in the perfect drafts? Leave a comment. Have you played any yet? Are you new to OOTP? Is this the first that you're seeing with the perfect draft tournaments? Really like to give us, if you have been performing well, give us one nugget player. Help us out. Who's a good player that we should be looking for when we draft? All right, guys, you know how I like my utility players. Dylan Moore, Mr. Hernandez, you're my two picks here. 2 rounds to go. I got 7 pitchers. I like to have 4 more. First baseman, catcher, and some outfield. Don't want a lot of infielders, and I have a lot of infielders to choose from here. All right, we're going to take Mitch, and we're going to take Adrian as a bullpen guy. Last round, 5 cards. This tournament has a 5-card iron round. So this is where we fill in any missing gaps. 3 pitchers. Got to have 3 pitchers. Let's take a look at the best 3. Again, you're not going to get a lot of high numbers on these guys here, so you're kind of picking the best of the worst. Let's go with our best movement guys. Jason, welcome. Jesse, you made it. And Lefty, we're not going to leave you behind. Wah, wah. 2 more guys. We want a first baseman. And actually, let's take 2 first. Well, no, let's leave Ed. Let's take Joe for the much better defense, and he's got some power. See, here's where we didn't grab a catcher, but fortunately we grabbed an infielder that has catching experience, so that's going to save us. Hi, let's get that second center fielder. And there we go. We have drafted a mediocre to above mediocre team, in my opinion. Let us go to a 4-man rotation. You are long relief. You are emergency starting pitching. Lefty, don't want you in as a starter. Mr. Loop, yeah, you're better suited for a closer. Yeah, we'll keep you as a setup guy. Actually, let's just go with all middle relievers. Okay, I'm happy with that. Hitting wise, let's look at the attributes. And because this is going to take me a while, I'm just going to put you guys on pause. Maybe go grab a drink, a beverage of choice while I set this up. Alright guys, interestingly enough, I only made one change. I brought in Jim Leyritz to face off righties simply because his power and contact was better than Miranda, who they had in before. So a little upgrade there. Lose a little bit on defense, but gain a little on offense. Interesting to note that my left-handed hitters, much better power than versus the righties. The only other thing I would recommend is, and I'm not going to worry too much about it in these early tourneys until I get to know the cards a little bit better, but you want to try and have a good mix of righties and lefties, alternating if possible, but at least no more than 3 apart. Can't really do that too much here, so I'm just going to leave it. Let the cards play out as they may. Maybe we'll move Colton up 1 because he's a lefty. And we'll do the same thing. No, actually, we'll leave him. We'll leave him there. Strategy-wise, I am not going to use strategy until after the 5th episode. Then we'll start to play around with that. We are going to pretty much leave things as default. Few little tweaks here and there. We are set. Let us submit this team. I'm excited to see how we do. Episode 1, check it out if you don't know how we did. Episode 2, kind of told you, spoiler, we lost in the first round. This one, we're getting by round 1. We'll see how far we go after that. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listen to me babble and talk about digital cards. Thank you. Hope you stuck through till the end. Tune in to episode 4 to see how we did. Again, leave that little like or subscribe or help the channel out any way you can. Happy to have you here. It's a great day for baseball. See you next episode.